Welcome to Joke Story Trick Live with Michael Kent. I'm him. Let's go. Oh my gosh, it's Tuesday. Tonight we have MARTI DODSON on the show. She is a singer-songwriter, frontwoman of the 2000s band Saving Jane, where her song Girl Next Door was heard basically everywhere and has since written hit songs for a ton of artists. I can't wait for you to meet MARTI. Also, you may have seen I made my return to the stage last weekend at Keller's Comedy and Magic Club in Erie, Pennsylvania, which was an amazing feeling being back. I was super nervous, but halfway into the first show, I had blown the cobwebs off. It felt like I never left. 2 standing ovations, just an overall great time. I even took time to go hiking during the days up there. I will be sharing many of the bird photos from those in the coming days. Also, the full show from Keller's will be available to gold level members on Patreon, which you can join at any level starting at just $1 a month if you want. If you want tons of bonus content, Patreon's the place to go. Speaking of bonus content, I released a bonus episode of my podcast, The Internet Says It's True, this week. It's about the real reason graham crackers were invented. It will probably make you blush. It is crazy. So subscribe to the podcast and listen to all 31 episodes. It's theinternetsaysitstrue.com. But for the bonus episode, you got to go to Patreon, which is patreon.com/Michael Kent. Let's see who's here. Oh my gosh, we got Christopher Morrow. What's up, Chris?
Ah, Chris.
Mitch is here.
Money making Mitch.
Which means Andrew's nearby.
Andrew.
And Josh is here. What's going on, Josh?
You're joshing me.
All these people are here. Hello, everyone. It's good to see you. I am Mike.
I'm Prison Mike.
And
you know why they call me Prison Mike?
Basically, I've had a pretty good week. Last week was rough. After I got the shot, the vaccine, I was down for 3 or 4 days. And last Tuesday during this show, not feeling too great, but tonight I'm feeling good. So let's get to some stupid news. In a recent breach of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg's phone number has appeared among the leaked data. Zuckerberg condemned the leak, saying, "It's a gross feeling to know there's a computer system out there that has all of your personal details." Police in York, Pennsylvania say that a body on the I-83 overpass was actually a sex doll. The victim was as surprised as anyone. The state of Utah gave a $20 million contract to an artificial intelligence firm that didn't have any artificial intelligence. Just wait till the NBA finds out Utah doesn't have a jazz scene. A baby in Iraq is the first human documented with 3 penises. Parents say the baby's doing well, but every diaper change is like a game of Russian roulette. And finally, in Russia, Vladimir Putin signed a law allowing him to run for 2 more terms as Russian president. This is the name of the law. I can't read Russian, so I put it into Google. It translates into "definitely not a dictatorship, winky face." This has been your stupid news. If you are watching tonight on, where'd I go? There I am. If you're watching tonight on YouTube, please do me a favor, click that subscribe button. Also, ring the bell. That way you'll never miss a show. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitch, do the same and follow. Every set of eyes helps, and I greatly appreciate it. It is time, folks, for me to show you how to magic.
Taste me how to
magic.
Taste me how to
magic.
Taste me how to
Magic.
You ain't messing with my
Magic.
You can do something awesome next time you go to a restaurant and they have sugar packets. Here's what you do. You toss it in the air. You impale the sugar packet on your finger. I'm going to teach this to you. It's really fun and really easy. First of all, you need a secret second sugar packet. You prepare that by folding it in half and then ripping out the center so you get a nice hole, and don't drain it all because you want some sugar to go flying. And that's what makes this seem like you're actually doing it. You want some sugar to fly. Now you put that on your right index finger like so, and then bend your finger down. Now, You grab one of the sugar packets that looks just like it. Listen, if you put a sugar packet on your finger, you got to use a sugar packet. If you put Sweet and Low on your finger, you got to use a Sweet and Low. If you're mixing it up, it's the changing, impaling sugar packet trick. That's not what we're talking about. So grab one, you take it out, and you say, watch this. And then you toss it. And as you toss it in the air, you're going to catch it with this hand. But don't open your hand until you go. So boom. And then you stick your finger out at the same time. So it looks like this. And you got to go with a forward motion too when you catch it. Go with a forward motion. And when you go with a forward motion, you can show them and you can have someone take it off of your finger. And I have just taught you how to magic.
Taste me how to
magic.
Taste me how to
magic.
Taste me how to
magic.
You ain't messing with my
magic. Rob says, I like to change it in midair. One of the things I like to do is toss a sugar packet in the air. And then when I go like that, there's a coin on my finger. Like I know karate. That's one of the things I like to do with it. I have taught you how to magic, and I've got a new sponsor for this show and for my podcast. The internet says it's true, and it's something some of you might get some use out of. I get asked on a weekly basis how I'm running my shows online with transitions and backgrounds and graphics and sound. And here's the thing. If I just told you what I'm using, it's not going to help much because there's a substantial learning curve to the software. That is where Virtual Presenter Course comes in. Step-by-step instructions that even non-tech savvy people understand. It'll help turn your presentations into a virtual broadcast studio. I want your meetings to be awesome, so I'm giving you 20% off your order. Go to virtualpresentercourse.com/30. You can learn how to do awesome presentations. Let's tell some jokes. One night, a wife is up late, waiting for her husband to come home. Where have you been? She asks him when he walks in the door. Oh, honey, you wouldn't believe it. I went to this new bar called the Golden Bar. It had gold ashtrays, gold stools, gold cups, even gold toilets, replies her husband, who is clearly drunk. The wife thinks once about it, but then, she goes to bed and no big deal. The next day, she finds the Golden Bar's phone number and calls it up. Hello, is this the Golden Bar? She asks. Yes, this is, ma'am, replies the man on the other line. Yes, my husband told me about your bar, and I was wondering if you would answer some questions. 1, do you have golden ashtrays? Well, yes. Do you have golden stools? Yes. Do you have golden cups? Yeah. Do you have golden toilets? There's a pause on the phone. Then a couple seconds later, she hears the man speak. Hey, Jimmy, he calls into the bar. I think we found out who's shitting your tuba. Oh my God, that's a good one for this week. That's not that bad. That's not bad. The jokes can always be worse, and we know that because now it is time for the worst part of the show, which is the Wheel of Joke Books. We're going to spin the wheel and see what we get. All of these are joke books that I own on the shelf back here, and we landed on Good Clean. The best of the Good Clean jokes. Now, some of you may know the story with this book is that I gave it to our friend's kid as a gift, and she gave it back to me 2 days later because none of the jokes make sense. Taylor Hurt says A+ on that joke.
Taylor to the plate.
Taylor, tell me a number between 1 and 292. That's how many pages there are in this book, and I will read. I'll read whatever page. We'll see what we get. There, believe it or not, there are jokes underlined in here. Someone bought this book for a reason and was like, I'm going to use these at the Rotary Club next week. Tell me a number, Taylor, and we will use whatever number you say. It's totally your call. Taylor's watching with Tony tonight.
My name is Tony Montana.
And she says page 130. Page 130 is, okay, well, the topic is ideal wife. I can guarantee every one of those jokes is going to be misogynistic, so we're going to go to the next one, which is called Idiot, which will be good. Okay, here's the joke. When I was a child, I used to bite my fingernails, and the doctor told me if I didn't quit, I'd grow up to be an idiot. And the doctor said, and you couldn't stop, huh? Let's keep going. Let's do one more. This next one's about image. Mother says, the baby is the image of his father. The neighbor says, what do you care as long as he's healthy? This is why my friend's kid gave me this book back. None of these jokes are good, and little kids don't get those anyway. So it's time for a story. Tonight's guest is a BMI award-winning singer-songwriter from Ohio, where she founded pop rock band Saving Jane in 2000. Saving Jane went on to become one of the highest-charting independent bands from the 2000s. She penned and performed 2 RIAA certified gold singles in Saving Jane, and her music career has been featured in shows and commercials, NBC, ABC, MTV, the WE Network, the We Network, I'm not sure what that is, and TLC. But more than that, as a songwriter, her songs have been heard everywhere by top artists. Please welcome MARTI DODSON. Good to see you, MARTI. How have you been?
Hey, I've been good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Now, we've got some people that are so excited I'm reading the chat and they're still reacting to those horrible jokes. But I like having the guest in the screen over here while I'm telling the jokes, especially the really bad ones, because I can see whether or not you laugh. And
I'm a pretty easy get, so.
Okay, good. So, oh my gosh, we've got some folks that just love having you here on the show tonight. So we do appreciate having you here. What have you been up to lately?
I am glad to be here. I got my second COVID shot today.
You did?
Yeah.
Which one did you get?
Pfizer.
I got the first one last weekend, and it knocked me out for like 4 days. Are you feeling pretty good so far?
I feel a little wonky tonight. The first one didn't do anything except to make my arm sore.
Yeah.
But I'm going to see how this next few hours goes.
Yeah. Well, good luck. I hope that it's okay. I've heard some people, have a couple rough days afterward. My wife got the first one with me, and she just had the sore arm. That's all she had.
That's what
But which is all I had that day, and then the next 3 days after it sucked. So
that's rough.
I'm looking forward to the next one. It's probably going to be, I'm just going to take some days to not do anything.
Yeah.
Hopefully nothing too important has to happen.
Sometimes we need a reason.
That's right. So are you doing some virtual stuff still, or are you going back on stage in front of people?
A little bit of both. So we've been doing a lot of songwriting over Zoom for the past several months.
How does that work? Do you play together at the same time over Zoom? Because the audio on Zoom is hard.
Yeah. One of us will be the instrument person, but it's weird because co-writing is weird anyway. Like we spend a lot of time with people that we know, but we also get thrown into rooms often with people that we don't know. So when you add in a first date to tell me your whole life story, let's get honest and real, and then it's over a computer with a stranger, it just it's been a weird year.
Oh. Yeah. Now, when that happens, does one of you come to the session with like a bunch of ideas? Is there one idea that you're workshopping? I don't know anything about this world, so this is really interesting.
Yeah, we'll sit and just kind of toss out. We'll first typically ask if, hey, does anybody have something they're dying to write about or a title or whatever? And then we'll just throw things back and forth and wait until somebody is like, ooh, I love that. Like, let's run with that. And we just kind of, bat them around until we get one.
So if you write a song that has something from your life that's incredibly personal, what's it like to hear someone else singing about that?
I've learned you can't get super personal details if you're writing for artists because it doesn't translate. So there's a difference between the stuff that I write for myself and something that I would write to pitch. And a lot of the stuff that I'm writing to pitch to other people, it might be elements of my story, but it's also not my specific details usually.
Okay. It's good to know.
Yeah.
You know what I had for dinner tonight? I had Buffalo Wild Wings.
Okay.
And you might know why I'm bringing this up.
Oh, okay. Yes.
The very first Buffalo Wild Wings ever was in where we went to college at Ohio State.
Uh-huh.
And I want to tell people, you didn't just come out of nowhere with Saving Jane. Now Ohio State has 60,000 students, and everyone knew Wednesday night, MARTI sings at Buffalo Wild Wings, and you would pack that place. Wednesday nights, people would go to hear you sing.
Gosh, I forgot. Oh, I didn't forget about it, but I haven't thought about that in such a long time. They used to back us in. They had that tiny little window and
up in the front corner.
2 square feet for both of you with the guitar and 2 mics. Yeah. And
there's no stage, I don't think. I think it was just the corner. Yeah.
Corner, yep. With your butt at the window.
It was a weird joint anyway. I mean, it's nothing like what people know as Buffalo Wild Wings now. It was a bar
No, it was totally straight up. Just
it was a bar with a chicken restaurant down the hall behind it. It wasn't really it was basically a bar. But oh my gosh, we loved to go there on Wednesday and hear you sing. And so, of course, whenever you became uber famous from doing that, no one was shocked. What's that?
I said it right on the D list, baby.
No, I mean, there was, in the mid 2000s, that song was on the radio everywhere. And what is it about Girl Next Door, your first hit song, that made it such an earworm? Is there a formula for that? Because I swear that song has been in my head all week since I've been doing the promo for this show.
Fully accidental. I wrote that, I used to just play around with melodies and stuff when I was driving my car, and I had come up with that on the way to band practice one day. And so I went in and sang it, and that's how we used to write stuff for the band. It's I would sing whatever I heard, and they would kind of mess around with chords, and I'd be like, that one, that one, that one. So that's how it came together. But I didn't really sometimes you feel like you're onto something special and nothing happens with it. And sometimes you have no idea. And that's the song that gets cut or gets, becomes a hit.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see in the chat. Fake Dispatch says Woodruff or High Street. It was on that corner, right? Of Woodruff and High.
Yeah. Yep.
Not there anymore. Cause now it's on now B-Dubs is an actual corporate B-Dubs on the corner of Lane Avenue and High. And it's a big two-story conglomerate where some other bar used to be. But, Lane Avenue, yeah, that's a completely different B-Dubs. This was an old hole in the wall that Marty used to sing in. So, well, I love having people on to tell stories. And since you are a musician, you told me before the show, we're going to do this one a little different. Rather than just have you tell a story, the way that you tell stories is through your music. So I'm going to ask you to tell us a story, and I'm going to full screen you. And please entertain us.
All right. Are you not entertained? Oh, let me take that off. So I got a little bit of instant karma actually today. I wrote this song a few weeks ago about being a woman of a certain age in the music business or any entertainment business. And I have no shame in admitting that I get a little bit of Botox right here and there. I had gone in and the nurse talked me into getting a little bit right here. And the day before, I was talking with my friend and they were like, hey, have you seen so-and-so? I feel like she's really getting a lot going on. And we weren't trash talking her, but we were just saying yeah, maybe we should talk to her and be like, hey, slow that down. Literally, I go in, she talks me into getting this on my forehead. This morning I wake up and my eye won't open. The universe was like, oh, really? You think you're going to talk about somebody and then you're going to go get it and you'll be fine? No.
It looks fine now.
Yeah, it got better throughout the day, but it was just wow.
Allison and I literally had this discussion right before the show. We were upstairs and I was like, I saw a TikTok. There's a viral TikTok right now where that's what happened to the girl. She got Botox and one of her eyes is she's trying to work on getting it back up.
It's wild. I had never had it. I've only ever got I get a little bit right here. That's it. Never gotten it there. She talked me into it. And when they do that, you can drop the muscles in your forehead, I guess. And so your eyes don't hold up anymore like they normally would. But anyway, I got my comeuppance rather immediately.
Apparently it wasn't a very long effect because it looks fine. I can't tell now. So
yeah, I'm also tricky with makeup, but,
okay.
But anyway, so that's part of this little song. So I just thought I'd tell you that because it made me laugh today because you can't be upset about it because I'm you know what? You knew the risk. So this is Face Value, brand new. I've only played it out one time, so I hope you guys like it. Wearing every minute of the life I've had. If it hurt me, then I did it probably twice my bad. All the good times showing in the new lines on this face, and now I'm spending all my money on the creams and pills. Stick a needle in it, honey, put it on the bill. It's a pain, but I do it in the name of preservation. Why do we work so hard to hide our years? Well, maybe we're afraid we'll disappear. What kind of mixed up message is it? Men get gray and they're more distinguished. Women trying to stay 25 until we die. And I don't know how to Starting to think we got it inside out. Cause I got a pretty heart and there ain't no doubt. I'm a hell of a woman, damn sure worth more. My face value. Living by the numbers, gotta watch that weight going up just like the candles on my birthday cake. And it's hateful, Lord, there ain't a graceful thing about it. If you're scared of turning 30, think it through real quick. Either this side of the dirt or it's a bucket kick. I know which one. If I get to pick one, I'll be out here living. What kind of mixed up messages you make it gray and more distinguished? Women trying to stay 25 until we die, and I don't know how to. Starting to think we got it inside out. Cause I got a pretty heart and there ain't no doubt. I'm a hell of a woman, damn sure worth more than my face value. Some women out here aging like a fine sweet wine. Just hit a little harder, honey, I'm moonshine. What kind of mixed up messages? If men get gray and they're more distinguished. Women trying to stay 25 until we die, and I don't know how to. Starting to think we got it inside out. Cause I got a pretty heart and there ain't no doubt. I'm a hell of a woman, damn sure worth more than my face value. I'm a hell of a woman, damn sure worth more than my face value.
Oh my gosh, so good. That is an amazing song. Wow. And
It's a thing that we don't talk about a whole lot.
and so many people. It's like the perfect time because I feel like there's never been a time when people are more empowered to speak their heart, and we all have a great avenue to do it. And people are open about stuff now, which that maybe they weren't open with before. You know, I had an episode of my podcast a couple weeks ago about Hedy Lamarr, and it really relates to what you're talking about in that song, in that she was in Hollywood in the 30s and 40s when the only value that they saw in women was the face value. And as she aged, she had a really hard time in life, and it basically ruined her. And that episode is about how much more she had to offer that was never heard. She actually invented the technology that led to Wi-Fi.
Oh, wow. I'm going to have to check that out.
It's crazy. No one ever knew it until 30, 40 years later when they finally used the patent and were like, oh, maybe we should give her credit. And by then she was like, I don't want to have anything to do with people. She had just been, you know, the industry had ruined her. So, but people couldn't talk about it. So that's really awesome. I think a lot of people will associate with that song.
Yeah.
So is that something that is for you, or will that be, we maybe hear another artist sing that someday?
That's probably going to be a me one.
Yeah.
I could pitch it, and I would pitch it. I'm not like precious about it, but I kind of want to put it out. So
yeah, it's a good song. It's a good song. So that counts as a story. Plus you told a story leading up to it. Do you have a joke for us?
I do. I was telling you before, all of my favorite jokes are very dumb. But.
Well, after what we read in this book, it's got to be better than one of these. And just for a frame of reference, I'll read one more.
Okay.
What is the greatest surgical operation on record? Lansing, Michigan. See, listen, whatever you have to say is going to be better than that joke. I said that it's called the foot in the door strategy. You know, like you just kind of creep in with a really bad joke, and then anything you have to say is better.
All right. I'm gonna try one. This used to be my very favorite one, so I'll try not to mess it up. So a string walks into a bar. The bartender's like, "Hey man, get out of here. We don't serve strings in here." So the string's like, "Man, all right." So he walks out of the bar and he twists himself into a little pretzel and messes up his hair. And he walks back into the bar, and the bartender's like, "Hey man, aren't you that string that was just in here?" And he was like, "I'm afraid not."
I'll take it. I'll take it. We got a story and we got a joke. And now it's time for the next part of the show, which I'm really excited about tonight. It's called What the Shit Is This? So I did check with you ahead of time. Sometimes I want to make sure that stuff's okay. And this is something that we can talk about. So here is a screenshot of a story from a few years ago. This was, is Taylor Swift's You Belong With Me a ripoff of Saving Jane's Girl Next Door? And just for context, on the replay of this, YouTube might trim out this next section because I don't own your song. I don't own the publishing for your song, nor do I own this publishing for Taylor Swift's song. But let's just play a little bit as comparison. So listen to this.
I could tell you his favorite color's green. She's the prom queen, I'm in the marching band. He loves to argue, born on the 17th. And I could tell you his favorite color's green. She's the prom queen, I'm in the marching band. He loves to
So we get the idea.
argue.
It's just a lot of the same melody, different key, same melody, and then there was another song that had very similar topic. We'll say
Imagery, yes.
imagery. Yes. So this was something that you heard enough that you were probably forced to say something about it, weren't you?
Yeah, it was coming up. We were still pretty active around the time You Belong With Me was out. That was, I think, around 2008, and we were still working records and stuff. And so every time I did radio, we would get asked about it.
And this was 4 years after your song.
Like 2.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
2.5 years after your song.
Yeah, and that was her first really crossover into the pop world, which is where we were. So I got asked about it all the time, and that was like, she was sort of, America's sweetheart. Everyone, like, you can't say anything negative, and I didn't want to, but
No.
at the same time, it's like you're constantly being asked about it. Like, what do you say? So I just said, if she was a fan of the song or of the band, like, I would rather just write with her, like,
Right.
than anything else. So I don't know. It came up a lot. It still comes up. I mean, people, when I came here and started writing songs, a lot of other songwriters asked about it, and so I don't know. It's never going to go away.
It's not a thing where like it would make sense or it's not in your heart to want to pursue legally anything with that. It's just sort of like,
I know that
is it flattery? How does it make you feel? I know that I've had stuff ripped off, but never on that sort of scale where this is a nationally known recording artist.
I mean, I was saltier about it back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our management looked into it at the time, and I think with the song that was on the YouTube video just now was not something that she ever released for sale. It was just something that she had posted online, so that wasn't an issue necessarily. And then the song that other people had heard that felt like was very similar was just basically just rephrased, and you can't really copyright those types of things. Like,
Yeah. It's an idea. And, it's tough. It's like you probably not the first one to make that parallel of like, here's this popular person. And by the way, were you in the marching band like in high school? I was always curious. Were you? What'd you play?
Clarinet and the flag corps too.
Flag corps. Both things that you couldn't do in college because our college band didn't do either.
Nope. I got to do spring band though.
Spring band. That was always a good time.
Yeah.
But what I was saying was, you were just the one that had phrased it in a very public way recently. And just put a song out there.
I don't think there was anything like earth shattering about the song that we wrote, but
other than the fact that everyone was singing it.
I'll take that. But it was very similar in, some of the things, the lines that she had and some of the lines that we had. So
yeah,
it came up a lot.
Wow. Well, now we know how Avril Lavigne feels, because wasn't she accused of something similar with one of her songs recently?
So yeah,
I don't know.
There have been a few of those that have come out. In
It was her famous song, Boyfriend, Girlfriend, whatever it's called. Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
there was a
you.
Katy Perry one too with her Dark Horse song.
Oh, was there? I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
All I know is I used to love Katy Perry,
Mhm.
and until I went to a live Katy Perry show.
What happened?
It was maybe the worst show I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it just boring or what? Like,
Uh-huh.
what was-
A couple things. A, Janelle Monáe opened for her,
Okay.
and I've never stopped talking about that.
Yeah.
She was amazing.
Yeah.
Every bit of her performance was like artistic and unique and exciting. And Katy Perry's set list was weird. She would play like 3 or 4 unknown slower songs in a row. And I was expecting the production to sort of blow me away, and it didn't.
Yeah,
And just kind of one of those, like, I was thinking like, oh, at least the production will be amazing. So the money, that's in this, I just didn't. It felt very like she was very separated from the audience.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But I felt the same way when I saw Garth Brooks a couple years ago. I just felt
Really?
like, it felt like watching television,
Mhm.
Whereas like I've been to enough shows. That's like how my wife and I fell in love, was going to like live music, and
Awesome.
and we've been to so many shows that that's an amazing feeling when you connect with someone
Yes.
who is 300 feet away from you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's something about that, that it has nothing to do with the format and the medium and the fact that I'm way over there and you're on a stage way over here. It has everything to do with the construction of like that concert and how you're presenting yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think Lady Gaga does a great job of connecting
Unbelievable.
with her audience. Pink, like it's the same scale of stage and production, but they still connect with people.
Yeah. Muse is one of like the best live shows I've ever seen. And
Never seen them live. I would love to.
I heard from several people how good they were live. And I've seen them, like, we've gone to maybe 2 or 3 live shows of Muse, and they've always been amazing. So I just want to show you something that someone said recently. This was, if we go back to here, a quote that someone said today. Who's Crying Now and One Girl Revolution were life-changing at a time in my life when I needed strength and direction.
Love that.
So you've definitely influenced a ton of people with your career and will continue to do so. Where can people learn about you, Marti?
You can find me on the gram, Marti Jane, MartiJane. Marti Jane Music on TikTok. I have been putting new music out this year. I started making a record during COVID. So I've released 4 songs so far.
Amazing.
And it's all under Marti Jane. So yeah.
Marti Jane Music.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate you coming on the show, Marti, and it was great to see you. And I hope to see you again too. And I hope that your second shot treats you well, and that and that you feel good over these next few days. Bye, Marti. Have a good night.
You too.
I want to remind everyone that this show is kept alive from my Patreon sponsors. You can join my Patreon for as little as $1 a month, and for that you get all kinds of exclusive content, including being able to watch me perform live magic shows. If you are a fan and you want to show it, this is the best way. The link is in the show description. And now, the final part of the show, it's time we do a trick. Tonight, I've got an oldie but a goodie for you with a $50 bill, a pencil. I hope you enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Next week, tune in. We've got actor Liz Priestley on the show. I will see you all next Tuesday. Hey friends, over the years I've had hundreds of unofficial supporters. Now you can make it official. Join my Patreon, 4 different levels, tons of exclusive benefits, access, behind the scenes, backstage video, access to shows that you normally wouldn't get to see, producer support, credits, shout outs, VIP events, everything you can think of. And you can join for as little as $1 a month. So thank you in advance for your support. I love all of you.